Our next speaker is Jaime.
Mi puesto es papichulo, ahí la patata. Nomás quería pedirles a ver si nos ayudaban para poder seguir viviendo nosotros ahí, porque de eso mantenemos a la familia y pues no es justo para que nos quiten para estar trabajando ahí y si nos den chance de seguir trabajando. Thank you.
Thank you, gracias. Our next speaker is Carmen Suárez.
Buenas tardes y muchas gracias primeramente por darnos la oportunidad de venir a expresar pues nuestras preocupaciones. Mi negocio ambulante es Gorditas La Única. Yo soy mamá soltera de 5 niñas. Me está estresando mucho el hecho de que pues de ahí las mantengo y no solamente dependo yo de ahí, sino que también 2 compañeras más que ahí les mantienen sus familias. Y pues sí tenemos esa preocupación y quisiéramos saber que nos orienten qué requisitos podemos seguir, facilitarnos para seguir obviamente las reglas necesarias base a la ley, pero que sea también que no las modifiquen a nuestras posibilidades, porque no podemos pagar un alto precio, porque pues por ejemplo si vendemos 600 y el carrito nos cuesta 5,000, 6,000, 1,000,000, pues no podemos. Y pues que se nos diera la oportunidad, porque estamos trabajando todos para nuestras familias solamente. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, gracias. Our next speaker is Rebecca Fausto.
So I'm a vendor from Patata Street, and I want to see about asking a safe place for vendors to set up, because I know there's been issues before with vendors on Patata Street. And it's because of the crowd that it gets and the cars and the traffic. So I wanted to see about how we can go about doing like a night market, like 66, or like the Alameda night market at Carrot Park. And it would give the vendors the opportunity to be able to set up there in a safe environment. And then just how to get the permits to be able to do that. So the vendors can continue to set up.
Thank you. Our next speaker is
Everybody
Rocio.
gets their 3 minutes, guys. Everybody gets their 3 minutes. Deja ahí express yourself, though. Hello.
Yo vengo porque también estoy ahí en la patata. Yo vendo churros, tipo de churros. Y yo trabajo porque yo quedé viuda con mi familia. Yo necesito a ver si nos pueden seguir ayudando para yo seguir trabajando. Si ustedes pueden, no lo puedo poner. Muchas gracias y que Dios los bendiga.
They just kicked them out just like that from one day to the next, guys. One patata.
Our next speaker
In the
is
city,
Irving Dominguez.
in the city of Cudahy.
Just a reminder, public comment is for submitting public comment cards about to close. You have about 2 minutes, so if you plan to provide a comment, please submit your public comment card within the next 2 minutes. Thank you.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Kevin Domínguez. Yo solicité el permiso de Asking Club, me lo negaron por tener antecedentes, pero pues yo tengo una familia que tengo que mantener y pues el trabajo lo necesito. Hice un esfuerzo para hacer el Asking Club. Soy el único sostén de la familia, mi esposa pues está pendiente de los niños y pues lo único que les pido es que pues, me pueden considerar con el, pues sí, con que me puedan puedo obtener el permiso porque está negado y pues tengo aquí la familia y pues soy el único sostén de la familia, necesito el trabajo. Pues como les dije tengo antecedentes, pero pues siempre he cumplido con lo que se me ha requerido. A lo mejor a veces son cosas que pasan, he tenido errores en la vida y pues yo creo que no te estoy dando la cara, todo lo que ha pasado, a lo mejor todo no ha sido por errores también, no todo ha sido culpa mía, ¿verdad? Y pues a pesar de que los errores o los problemas que he tenido con mis antecedentes, pues todo yo he dado la cara porque pues, soy una persona de bien, pues lo único que les digo es que me pueden ustedes considerar como permiso, sí, lo necesito y hice un esfuerzo por hacer el carro, tenía otro trabajo y tuve que dejarlo, estoy sin trabajo. Yo conocí precisamente la ciudad de aquí de Cudahy, precisamente por un trabajo comunitario que tenía que hacer y pues me llamó mucho la atención para trabajar y pues aquí estoy, a ver si ustedes me pueden considerar también, pues no fallar a la familia pues, para darle para adelante. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, gracias. The next speaker is Lilia.
Buenas tardes, estoy presente para opinar y que nos den una ayuda para que no nos movamos de ahí o nos den un lugar estable, de ahí mantenemos a nuestra familia y ¿qué les puedo decir? Que nos ayuden, por favor. Gracias.
Thank you, gracias. Our next speaker is Antojitos Mexicanos.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Ruth. Les agradezco, ¿verdad?, por tomarnos en cuenta, por darnos un poquito de su tiempo. Ha sido algo difícil lo que hemos pasado ahí por lo que han llegado gente. Yo pienso que a veces abusan un poquito de su puesto que tienen porque han llegado a espantarnos, como decirlo. Pienso que no son maneras, digo, yo entiendo que hay reglas y a lo mejor a lo mejor no las seguimos, pero no es porque uno no quiera, sino porque es difícil a veces sacar los permisos, uno los quiere sacar, pero no nos dan la oportunidad de entrenarnos o de ayudarnos. Creo que más que nada de ayudarnos es asesorarnos, no estamos en contra de querer hacer las cosas como son legales, pero sí que nos enseñen, que nos ayuden, puesto que uno viene de la oportunidad de entender cómo hacer las cosas. Pues sería todo. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, gracias. Our next speaker is Irene Morado.
Hello everyone, it's a different panel out there, right? Without Jack Guerrero and just long time no see. As you know, I've been advocating for the vendors in the past 2 years because there's been a tax, 300% the tax have spiked by 300%, and it's been very time consuming because it's gotten really bad. So I just got back right now from a 7-hour meeting with Janice Hahn and the rest of the LA County Board. I've also had meetings with James Dragan, one of the directors of the Department of Public Health. And they all agree that they don't agree with the sweeps that their staff have been doing. It's been kind of aggressive, so they're working on that. They are all in agreement of implementing a micro enterprise home kitchen, which is called MICO. So this vendors will be able to use their home kitchen. Obviously, if they want to, they can be inspected once a year. So that way they don't have to rent out a commissary or an industrial kitchen, which is expensive, which most of these vendors cannot afford. They're living day by day, not even week by week. And the thing with Cudahy here, a lot of these vendors have been happy sitting here for the past 2 years, but when you have staff members walking up and telling them, well, it's over now, laughing, it's over, your day's coming, we're gonna cut you guys off. And then that causes anxiety with the vendors, they depend on this. And a lot of these vendors live in Cudahy too. The majority of the community wants these vendors to stay here. So what are we doing? Are we intercepting monetary exchanges now that the community wants? We are public servants, right? We want to represent the public. So Senate Bill 972 passed last year, and they're still updating the retail food code. So is it time for us to be bureaucrats and knowing that these people are in need every day? The Department of Public Health is also in agreement. They're allowing 30 days out of a 90-day window span to hold community events. But it would be best if the city of Cudahy would implement that, to have community members leading, organizing these vendors instead of having staff that has been known to antagonize them. So it's basically 3 days out of the week under a community event umbrella. They will be able to legally sell without having to have an industrial kitchen, going through all the hurdles. For example, for a single location, for a booth that can prepare food, not having to have packaged items, the annual permit, it's only $500. Okay, so if you'd like to sit down and talk about that, I recommend you talking to either James Dragan or Lisa, who's the director of the Department of Public Health. Like I said, they're in agreement. They want to help out these vendors. They also sent out a list of the vendors of the places that are having illegal vending, and Cudahy is not in their top 20. So they're not worried about Cudahy right now as much as a risk. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, there are no other public comment cards. Now it's over here, so.
Thank you, City Clerk, and we see none on Zoom either. So we move on to item 8, which are City Council comments. This is a time for City Council or agency to comment on any topics related to city business, including announcements, reflections on city or regional events, response to public comments, suggested discussion topics for future council meetings, general concerns about particular city matters,
Patata.
questions to the staff and directives to the staff, subject to approval or consent of the city council majority members present regarding the staff directives. Each council or agency member will be allowed to speak for a period not to exceed 3 minutes. Notwithstanding the foregoing, the city council members shall not use this comment period for serial discussions or debate between members on city business matters not properly agendized.
What's the conversation about the street vendors now? Really encountering that, so. But all these public officials are the ones that make a lot of the decisions over here in the city.
I usually use this
I really come out here, guys, because, I got a DM from some other people from the Cudahy.
but I do want to
Most of anything patata area, telling me that we're having this meeting out here, and I appreciate it,
for choosing Cudahy as a place to come.
Alex Enamorado was, he's an advocate for Cudahy, so I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't here, guys, so much love to that. So support it, everybody's here, but all these officials are here. We about to know them. We about to really get to know these guys.
Relationship between the city and our vendors, which I know staff and our city manager has communicated that there is that communication, there is that work in place. We just have to merge it because because a lot of the comments that I heard is, please tell us what we should be doing. And I've been told that, we are doing exactly that. So if it's possible to be able to have you guys sign up, be part of a directory, so that the city manager staff can communicate with you in terms of, any trainings, rules, regulations, the permitting, part of it, to make sure that we do have that working relationship. I think it adds to the identity of our community. If our residents, are, a business only matters when people are buying, right? So if you do have a customer base, let's make sure that we do it the right way, so that it benefits the city, it benefits our residents, and it benefits our vendors.
Thank you. Councilmember Rangel?
First of all, thank you all for coming out today and for speaking. We've had a series of meetings where we've had a lot of really great community input. Oh, can you hear me now? Sorry about that. We've had a series of meetings where we've had a lot of community input. My voice is also a little bit gone. And so super appreciate you all coming out and speaking about these issues. These are issues that I have brought up with staff very often. And so I think that I'm glad folks are here to talk about it, because we haven't treated it as the priority that it should be. And I think that we need to bring that policy back. I mentioned it before, but the policy that we passed before this new council, and so I feel like council maybe hasn't been updated on what the policy is. The maps that we saw recently were updated, and I was very happy to see that. But I know that our vendors haven't seen that. And so I've asked for a workshop before, and I want to be very, direct and say that we need to have a workshop within the next month for our vendors, and possibly even have more individualized, maybe one staff member to 2 vendors, something that's manageable for support appointments. So anyone that is interested and ready and feels ready to apply is able to reach out to staff and say, here, I need an hour and a half. Let's say I'm not quite sure how much time it would be, but start setting up those appointments so that folks can actually apply versus feeling very lost, because my thing is correct, and a lot of the comments were, we want to be a part of it, but we don't know the process, and I know that's pretty much the sentiment I've always heard. I also do want us I would like to seek direction to staff to speak to La Puente and Linwood. I know that we initially talked to them, but obviously there's been updates to some of these, like 30 days out of 90-day span for vending. And so if we are able to speak to them, because they're doing it. They're having events where it's a city-run event, and then we have food vendors available there that don't have individualized permits, but are able to participate because they're able to have like maybe a one-day sort of permit just to attend and be there and have a space. But we haven't been able to do that for some reason, so I want us to focus on that. And then lastly, looking at opportunities within our city parks. So for example, the food hall we have here, it hasn't been utilized in a really long time. And so maybe we're able to update it with one of our vendors, and they're able to vendor safely. I know some of them that would probably fit in that small space, it's pretty small, but maybe that's an opportunity to also revamp our parks. If we have a vendor there that fits small, maybe it's one vendor a day, or they're on 3 days out of the week, and so people know on Fridays it's Earthy Crest, on Saturdays it's, Papi Churro, which I love the name by the way, on Sundays it's People's Churros, you know who you're going to see every other day, so yeah, just that's the end of my comments.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Gonzalez.
Thank you. It's great to see everybody here. I love the community turnout, like Councilwoman Arteta said. It's 2 meetings in a row. Love the community involvement. I think there was something really important said is no one's telling us how to do it right, and so we don't know how to do it right. And I think part of that is workshops, and I think that is definitely the same way we're doing the homeownership workshops. Maybe we need to do business owner workshops, basic stuff, creating an LLC, getting a city permit, whatever other obstacles. At the same time, I understand that the county health department, we need them to finalize some protocols and procedures that are more accessible to to our vendors, so definitely want to encourage our team to meet with the county to kind of figure out where we're at, or where they're at with that. And also, I love the comment from Councilwoman about and many of the other cities that are making this work. I think there's definitely a way to make this kind of collaborative and bring in the community. So that's, let's see. And then definitely, if I hope no one's harassing anybody. I haven't heard anything personally until today, so I don't know if it's just maybe random folks that are impersonating city staff or anything like that, but definitely would love to know more about that. I don't think that's appropriate at all. But what I would say is definitely training on, I think everybody knows, we shouldn't be parking in the red zone, but a lot of people may not know that blocking the sidewalk is an ADA compliance issue. A lot of people may not know that blocking a driveway creates safety risks. So those types of things I think are important. Definitely would love to, maybe it's a council presentation or something like that that updates us on what we're working on. And then I know, from my understanding, is that we are trying to work on that concept of having a community-led food space, and so I don't know if anyone from city staff should comment on that at all today, but
Hell to the yeah, yeah.
we've been bringing up, we have been looking for a location to make it work, so it's not to say that we're not trying. It is a very complex situation, and one thing I appreciate is, as folks were speaking up here, they said they're trying to be respectful of the brick and mortar business owners, because that is something that we all have to figure out and work out. Not to say that both of the street vendors and the brick and mortars need to figure out how we can coexist together and everybody works together, and there's no major issues. And then just the other concept of just feeling safe. I mean, the fact that vendors are being attacked and that it's gone up 300%, I wasn't aware of that. And I think, I think we need to, safeguard anybody in the city and make sure that they're not victims of any sort of crime, including any street vendors or anybody who's within the community. So, but thank you for coming out today and bringing this up to us. I think it's a major issue that we need to focus on.
Thanks for that. So this one later.
Thank you. And similarly to what my colleagues have shared tonight, thank you to everyone who spoke tonight, who is here tonight. I think it really takes an immense amount of courage to come up and share your stories, which I think are really powerful. I think we value family, we value dignity, right, making an honest living, which is what a lot of you spoke to tonight. So thank you for sharing what you all are seeing out there as you make that honest living. One thing I definitely want to be firm on and loud about is it is not okay to antagonize our vendors if that's what is happening. I would ask that we really just stop the way we are going about that, because we all deserve, even if it is, right, something that has to happen, the vendors, nobody here, anywhere in Cudahy deserve the anxiety if that is what was provoked. So definitely want to be loud as much as I can about that. It is unacceptable that we are hearing that tonight. And so what I would want to see is more of what my colleagues have mentioned, which are the workshops, the creativity, which I think honestly, as we just heard, should be community-led. You all have the solutions, so I welcome you all to stay engaged and work with us, because we are interested in a solution to support you all to continue to make that honest living that is also gonna continue to benefit the entire community. And that can be kind of difficult, right? Because we have different people who are gonna feel differently or think differently, but I think we're definitely invested in, from what I hear tonight, working regionally. I think that's a really creative solution, because I just thought of, right, like if a vendor right now is working, let's say, all 7 days, but we transition to maybe in each city, they have a day. We're not changing how much you all are making. You all are still able to provide for your families, but we are in a sense creating a collective effort to work around all of these different pieces that we have. So in a nutshell, I just really want to say that, again, thank you for being here tonight and continue to be involved as we, think of a solution that works for many of us in Cudahy. So thank you so much. And I yield my time. So with that, we move on to our city manager report.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and Council. I also want to say thanks to the constituents and vendors that came out tonight to express your concerns and frustration. And I will share with you along with the City Council that this is a very complex and a very frustrating situation, even for us as government, because many of the rules that make this complex actually is from another department in another jurisdiction called the county. It's the Department of Public Health. We have been trying to pierce through that, and we have made some progress, but not where we would like to be. And so I am committing to you all that we will continue to do that. And in fact, about a month ago, we were supposed to go to another city where the county supervisor and her staff, along with some public health officials, were trying to work a program and see how that works there. And if it is successful, then we will be next to roll that program here in Cudahy. So although we haven't been very vocal about many of the things that we have been working, I just do want to make sure that I commit to you all, the council as well as the city, is that this is not on the back burner, but we have been working on this very diligently, and it takes a lot of coordination. But we do feel that we're getting closer, much closer than we were a year ago with this issue. But I will also say that just like anyone that walks the sidewalks of this community or drives the streets of this community, we all have to be mindful of our actions and how that affects public safety. And so, to that degree, I implore all of you, make sure that you hold me accountable if I'm breaking the speed laws, or that if I'm parking in a red zone, or if I'm doing something that endangers someone else, or blocking a sidewalk or that sort of thing. That's the only thing currently that the city is enforcing. Anything dealing with any other issues, vendor or whatnot, we're not enforcing that because we're still in a gray zone, is what I call it. Is we're trying to figure this out. We're trying to bring the county on to deal with this issue. I do believe that we're going to have some answers here fairly soon.
Listen to what he's saying, guys. And
council also.
I'm about to pull up to the area and see the Cudahy trucks that are going by there. Guys, we're back. We're back, guys. But apparently we're on a city council meeting, guys. We're right here in the chambers, man. We came to the hall. But we will come out here, guys, and hold you guys accountable, man. Just came out and support the vendors, man. Sent me a message. It was good that Allison Amorova here was here too. I didn't even know he was gonna be here, guys, but I appreciate that, man. You know what it is. But I appreciate Patata for calling me and sending me a message, brother. We're right here, so I arrived right on time just to make him aware that we are here, guys. You know. So, stay tuned, guys.